anything is always based on a melody. So for example, if I start with a melody, you say, what do I start with? Start with a very simple melody and then maybe embellish it. For example, in that last song I played, melody was like this. That's the melody, right? So how do I embellish that? For example, I might go. See what I did? Start simple, and then if I feel like it, add things to it, but never lose the melody. Anything can be very simplified or very complex, but even complex things should have a melody based in there. Probably one of the most is Brian Wilson. That's why you guys had to listen to the Beach Boys for an hour. Yeah, Kiss was like, I was more inspired by Kiss in performance and the music and fun of rock and roll, but when real musical inspiration was more things like, you know, Brian Wilson and things like Phil Spector and all that old music and musicals, West Side Story, all the classics. I was more into romantic things like Chopin and Rachmaninoff, and I like romantic music, Piazzolla. It's not classical maybe, but I've played a lot of that stuff. I can't play it now because I suck. But when I play classical music, like with an orchestra, I prepare for a long time. Like kind of recently I played Dvorak with an orchestra, and I have to prepare for that. To play rock music, I don't have to prepare anything, but for classical music, I have to really prepare a lot. So I'll show you like some typical things, a chord progression. Very typical. Things get way crazier in pop music now, but like they're kind of based in things like this. Typical, like the 70s music in America, typical. But now I'm going to play, now that you heard that, I'm going to play my version of a Japanese song with a little bit more adventurous chords in it.
daha ilk melodiye başladığı anda onun o olduğunu tanıyoruz ya. Yani bir anda onun tarzından, daha tuşesinden anlıyoruz. Bunun işte Brian May gibi, işte Eric Johnson gibi gitaristler de aynı şekilde. Ve şu anda çok fazla yapılmış şey var ve yeni başlayan bir gitarist için bir tarz oturtmak ya da farklı olmaya çalışmak çok çok zor. Bunu nasıl yapabiliriz diye sordum.
Okay, to answer that question, I think as a guitar player, it's easy to see someone who's really good at guitar and want to play like that. Just get good at guitar. The problem with that is if you really get into that, you start to lose your own personal identity because you're just learning things to make you better on the guitar. I think the people that you're mentioning, guys like me maybe, who you can hear their sound, these are guys who don't really try to learn every single thing out there. A lot of guitar players, especially when they're younger, think, I need to know everything. I need to play like this guy, this guy, everything I need to know. It's very intimidating. It's more important to me to be very honest with things I care about learning about. I don't want to waste time. Like, for example, pick some, like Eric Johnson. Fantastic, unbelievable guitarist. I could never play like that. So I don't try to learn what he does because there's things that I'm more interested. I just know he's a fantastic player. I respect him, but that doesn't mean that's got to be part of my musicality. You have to be very honest with yourself, each person's personal taste and life experience. Oh, I love this. I need to learn this. Not just because it's good, just because it means something to you. Those are the things that you need to learn. It's very important to be honest with your own taste. A lot of people think, well, I have to play like Al Di Meola because he's so good and I want to get good. Well, no, I could never play like that in a million years. It's very nice technique, but that's his life experiences. Your experience is different, yours different. So I think you should be relieved to not think that you have to learn everything, but you have a responsibility to really learn the things you love and learn it well. I don't like starting the solo on the downbeat and the root notes. And then, for some reason, I listened to one of the records of Megadeth. The first four solos, song 1, I start solo on the root. Song 2, start solo on the root. Song 3, start solo on the root. I'm just a liar is what I am. I don't really do that much. I don't really do that much, but I try to avoid things that drain energy. Like, so I don't really drink very much, and I don't overeat, and what else? But like for energy, I get energy. I'm just very grateful that people care to listen to me play guitar. So just seeing all of you here, I'm receiving your energy. I'm not giving the energy. I'm receiving the energy from you guys. So I appreciate that very much. But I think to answer your question, I think eating healthy and not drinking and smoking is probably a good start. And if you're in sports, that's the best because that's the healthiest thing. I think music for me is like a sport. I mean, when you're in concert, I don't like to just stand there and look at my guitar. I like to move, sing a melody, and then maybe sing it into my phone. Oftentimes, especially in a country like Turkey, with wonderful, what do you call it? Folk music.
Yeah.
This is a better word I want to use. Music from the people's music. It's very interesting to me. So I hope to absorb something from being in Turkey just something I might hear in a restaurant or anywhere on the radio. I'll hear one little phrase and go, oh, I like that phrase, I never heard that before, and then I try to remember it. Especially in a country like Turkey with very rich folk music in the culture, a lot of people who want to be like rock guitarists like myself, they don't use that secret weapon, because I'm sure that you grew up with your grandparents' music. That's a great weapon that you can be very original with. You start playing some of that stuff and learning the melodic motifs from that, then you're going to sound different than all the other rock guitar players just from that. It's already in your blood if you grew up with it, so it's part of you. So don't ignore that. That's a very, very good thing. I don't really think so much in scales or playability, except when I'm playing classical music with an orchestra. Then every single fingering, I'm looking at everything that I'm playing. What's the least way I'm gonna fuck this up? With the least possibility of making a mistake. And I try every single fingering, every position. Ever since I left the band of Megadeth, I stopped playing it. And then I've been playing it with my band sometimes since, I don't know, 2017 or something. But I never really listened exactly to what it originally was, so it's probably just how I remembered it. So it's definitely not exactly like, it's probably different every night. This is how it works, not just for that, for like any solo really. You record it. When you're recording it, you're really working on it in details, and then the record comes out, and then you choose songs for your show, and then, oh, I remember that solo, and then you just play it, and then now it becomes the way you remembered it, but maybe it's not exactly like all the details. So, and then after years, it keeps changing a little bit more as you grow, your technique changes, and you have more interesting phrasing.
Yes.
So like, that song was recorded something like 1990 or something, and probably if I listen to it now, it's like, oh, I would do this different, do that different. So
it also starts with the root key.
yes, exactly. It starts with the root. You got me. You got me, yeah. Sometimes not everything works out. I throw away 90% of what I do for the same reason. I'm like, I can't think of what to do next. So you just throw it away and start something new. It's not the end. You got to start again. The whole process of creating music means constantly creating music, all the time. So most of what I do is I just throw it away. But maybe if I 20 songs, one song is worth working on. So yeah, don't feel bad, because most of everything needs to be thrown away from everybody. One more thing to do is
Marty?
ask somebody, ask another musician, what would you do with this? Ask your friend, what would you add to this? You have to constantly create music, constantly, because then you get better at the process, and then you don't feel so bad when it sucks. Because believe me, what I do sucks most of the time. But I don't care, because I know if I keep working, something will happen. So you just have to keep... music is a long, long journey. You have to just keep constantly creating. The more you do anything, the better you get at it. This is the best thing. You will get good at what you do. You will can only get better, but you won't get good at what you don't do. Like, for example, you're in your room recording, and you're recording your desktop. You're working with the latest software, and you're recording, home recording, doing that every day. You're gonna get good at that. And another guy, he goes out and he plays with his band. Play a little place like this, play a big place, playing everywhere, playing live, standing up and playing in front of people. He's gonna get good at that. He's gonna be good at playing live. This guy's good at recording. This guy's good at teaching. This guy's good at practicing. This guy, everybody's different. You get good at what you do all the time. That's really, like, all the other stuff is maybe okay, but that's super important. You get good at what you do. I think what you are maybe asking is, how do you get more acquainted with playing everywhere on the fretboard? And that's what I just said a minute ago. The more you do it, you get good at it. So for example, I played in this Japanese singer band, and all of the songs are in very strange keys. You know, they're rock, but they're like in A flat or something, and G minor, and they're all in very strange keys. And I ad-lib my solos in strange keys from playing on her tour. If I didn't play on her tour, maybe it's kind of hard, but once I played on that tour, no, I'm ad-libbing in all these strange keys, so it's that experience. So every experience that you add, I guess, unlocks the fretboard. There's no like, here, this exercise, no. You just have to add experiences that force you to play new things. I was already very much into melody playing before I came to Japan, but Japan is way into melody. Every single thing, the melody is front and center. So to write music with Japanese artists, for Japanese artists, for myself, you take melody a lot more seriously than anything else. So I just got better at creating melodies. I mean, even before I went to Japan, I was into it, but living there and working with all of the Japanese artists, just my melody sense got so much better. I mean, I think you can hear on my records that they're more melodic. I think playing in front of people, either by yourself, with a band, with a friend, anything. Playing in front of people for one show is worth maybe 500 hours of home practice. Rather than spending hours practicing at home, spend the same hours trying to put together little shows, even in the park or with at your friend's house, playing in front of other people. It's like turbocharges your progress. There's nothing wrong with taking breaks. I never touch the guitar unless I'm working on something. You have to have a goal and a purpose. Just noodling around like this, it's meaningless, really. So, oh, I have a show next week, I better practice. Or I'm writing a song, I better work on that song. Anything, I'm playing in front of my girlfriend, I have to practice. But you need some goal. So if you don't have a goal, don't feel bad about taking a break. Sometimes you don't have a goal. I've got to rest. You can use your nail, you can use the flesh. It's just more voices. I don't do anything fancy with it. I just use it to play notes. I can mute the other strings while I'm using my fingers, but nothing fancy. I think that's because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to sing on guitar. So I'm trying to think like a singer, like, for example, undertow. I'm not playing like rock and roll guitar. I'm singing. No vibrato. I do so many things. I would be happy to do anything for Jason. He's my brother forever, yeah. Music takes you all over the place. You know, you never know what's going to happen. So, I'm happy with all of it. You know, of course, there are a lot of things I could have done better, but I think my most recent album is the closest to something I'm really super proud of. I like all of it, but I feel like drama in that direction is very natural for me. I keep thinking of those AI, I don't know if you heard them in Turkey, but some guys are making these AI songs and they're like super XXX rated lyrics. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know about the Metallica.
Yeah.
You know that one? Lars
one?
is gay, James is gay.
I've never seen that one.
You should listen to that one.
I love that stuff. I love all of that. Any schoolboy humor, I'm in there. So I love that about AI. I love that. I think it's a tool. You can either use the tools or not use them, and it really doesn't matter because we're all artists, and everybody creates art a different way. So there's no, I'm not on one side or another side. This guy creates art without it. This guy creates it with it. You know, I'm all for both of them. Completely give it everything all the time. Things are going to work out for you sometime, guaranteed.